Okay, so what I wanted to share with everybody was this concept of what do you play with a bass line? I play both instruments, so I kind of know both sides of the fence in that way. And I wanted to show how what you want to do sometimes is have a dialogue between guitar and bass parts. So you don't necessarily have to play all the time. Sometimes the bass will be doing some kind of a line where you could double it, but normally when we have smaller rhythm sections as we do in rock and roll with just maybe one or two guitars, you want to play some parts that have meaning, but don't get in the way of, let's say, lead vocals and, horn arrangements, maybe a keyboard part. You want to make sure that you stay off a lot of the full bar chords, rather than playing a G like that and having all this low mud go in the bass, because the bass might be going, you know what I mean? You don't want to just hold that bass note and have all that mud going on. So a lot of times you want to play in a higher inversion to stay off the bass player and also the left hand of the keyboard who might be experimenting and moving around. So what you want to do is you want to come up with more simpler, more pared down type of triads and single notes and parts that fit in with the rhythm section so where you're not necessarily in the way, and make it so all the instruments have their space, and it really gives a nice homogeneous sound for the listener so they're not confused by too many overtones and a lot of mud, if you will. So parts is really important with rhythm guitar playing. I really wanted to show on this master class on like what we would want to do to be able to fit in and be able to be, asked back if we're just in a jam situation, or in my case, get hired into a really great band to where you just, honestly replicate, the original master recordings of what the listeners are there to listen to, the fans, and make sure you don't add too much more because the composition is perfect. It was a masterpiece, and that's what made it a hit. So you're trying to make sure it stays a masterpiece.